The first postcard arrived on a Wednesday. It came in the usual bundle of mundane bills and promotional flyers, standing out with its glossy image of the Eiffel Tower lit up at night. At first, Emma thought it was junk mail, a travel agency advertisement, perhaps, but when she flipped it over, her breath caught. The handwriting on the back was hers. Not just similar, not just close exactly hers, down to the way she looped her lowercase gs and pressed too hard on the pen. It was like staring at a message she'd written herself, only she hadn't. Emma, Paris is stunning at dusk. You'd love it here. Don't forget to try the chocolate soufflé at Chez Pierre. Best decision ever. See you soon. Cheers me. There was no sender address, no postal stamp, just a date scribbled in the corner, October 16, 2026. Today was October 10, 2023. Emma stared at the postcard for what felt like an eternity, trying to piece together some kind of rational explanation. Had she written this as a prank and forgotten? Was someone mocking her? Her mind swirled with questions, but answers remained stubbornly out of reach. After a while, she shook her head, set the card aside, and went about her day, determined to dismiss the incident as an elaborate joke or mistake. But the next day, another postcard arrived. This one featured the lush, cascading rice terraces of Bali, sunlight spilling over emerald green fields. Again, Emma's own handwriting greeted her on the back. Emma's sunrises in Bali? Breathtaking. You'll wish you could freeze time. Don't skip the jungle trek. Trust me, it's worth it. All the best, me. The date? November 2nd, 2026. Emma's hands trembled as she read the words. She'd never been to Bali. Hell, she'd barely traveled outside the U.S. Her passport was a pristine, unmarked booklet collecting dust in her drawer. And yet, here was a message from her future self, or at least, someone pretending to be her. She couldn't ignore the eerie coincidence anymore. For the next week, the postcards kept coming, one after another, each from a new location. Santorini, Kyoto, Marrakesh, Cairo, the Great Barrier Reef. The postcards were like pieces of a puzzle she couldn't solve, each stamped with future dates, each penned in her exact handwriting. They all contained mundane, casual notes about the sights and experiences of the places, as if written from one traveler to another. Yet they all ended the same way. All the best, me. By the end of the week, Emma's apartment was littered with postcards. She couldn't sleep. She could barely eat. She'd tried everything to figure out what was going on, Googling the dates, checking postmarks, even taking a handwriting analysis test. Nothing made sense. She wasn't just terrified. She was desperate. Then came the 9th postcard, from Prague. This one was different. Emma, you're starting to understand, aren't you? Keep watching. The clues are coming. You're closer than you think. Just remember, don't go to the coffee shop on Main Street this Friday. Trust me, me. Emma's heart skipped a beat. There was no playful travel recommendation, no note about beautiful scenery, just a warning. The words written in her unmistakable hand carried a weight they hadn't before. And more importantly, this postcard contained a date only days away. October 13th, 2023. It was specific. It was urgent. And it chilled her to the bone. She considered ignoring it. She considered dismissing it as just another bizarre prank. But as Friday crept closer, Emma found herself haunted by the message. If there was even the slightest chance this was real, could she risk it? What would happen if she went to the coffee shop after all? When Friday arrived, Emma didn't dare set foot near Main Street. She stayed home, pacing her apartment, her nerves frayed. Hours passed without incident, no explosions, no sudden catastrophes, nothing to justify the warning. By evening, she felt foolish for even entertaining the idea that the postcards were anything more than an elaborate hoax. Maybe someone had hacked her life, studied her handwriting, and sent her into a spiral for their own sick amusement. She was ready to write the whole thing off. Then she saw the news. A city bus had jumped the curb outside the coffee shop on Main Street. A brake failure, they said. Several injured. One fatality. Emma stared at her screen, her stomach sinking. The fatality was a woman in her 30s, described as wearing a green jacket and carrying a canvas bag, details that matched what Emma had planned to wear that very morning. She felt her knees buckle. The postcards weren't a hoax. They were something else entirely. In the days that followed, Emma became obsessed. She reread every card, looking for patterns or hints. The warnings became more pointed. Some saved her from small inconveniences, a fender bender, a lost wallet. Others grew darker. One card warned her not to trust someone close to her, though it didn't say who. Another described an upcoming fire in her building with haunting accuracy. Her life became a maze, with the postcards as her only guide through it. But then, the postcards took an even stranger turn. They began showing her memories she didn't recognize, conversations she couldn't recall, faces she didn't know. In one postcard, her handwriting described a quiet moment watching a sunrise in Chile, sitting next to a man named Caleb. She'd never met anyone named Caleb. Another card mentioned a scar on her wrist from an accident that hadn't happened yet. The line between present and future blurred. Emma began questioning her own sense of reality. Were these glimpses of a life she hadn't lived yet? Or were they warnings of a life she was being steered toward? The final postcard came 3 months later. No photo this time, just a blank white card. On the back, written in her familiar hand, "Emma, this is the last one. You'll understand soon. Remember, some doors can't be closed once they're opened. Take care, me." And just like that, they stopped. The silence was almost worse than the cards themselves. Emma waited, day after day, but no new postcards came. The unanswered questions gnawed at her. Was it over? Had she passed some sort of test? Or had her future self, whatever version of her had sent those cards, run out of things to warn her about? Emma tried to move on, but she couldn't. Every time she saw a postcard rack, every time she glimpsed an unfamiliar place in a movie, she felt a pang of longing and fear. Her life felt like it was split in two, the one she was living, and the one the postcards had shown her. And somewhere out there, in a time she hadn't reached yet, another version of her was waiting, watching, writing. A woman starts receiving daily postcards from her future self, sent from places she's never been. At first, they seem harmless, offering casual notes about travel, but they soon escalate into cryptic warnings and life-saving messages. Then, one day, the postcards stop, leaving her to wonder if her life is truly her own.